Hey everyone, it's Chris Clark with discgolf.law. I'm pleased to come to you today with some news about House of Discs and its recent acquisition of Dynamic Discs. Mountain Village was launched in 2005 in Sweden. It's a company that sells a wide range of disc golf discs and disc golf related products under a variety of brands, including Latitude 64, Westside Discs, and Kastaplast. Now, fast forward to June of 2022, two European private equity companies made an investment in Mountain Village. Vendis Capital and Equip Capital, a team of investors across 6 different offices and 6 different nationalities. When Equip Capital and Vendis Capital teamed up and made their investment in Mountain Village, they joined forces together and they created what we now know as House of Discs. Most of us are used to referring to Latitude 64 and Westside and Dynamic Discs as Trilogy. And it got a little more confusing when Kastaplast came into the mix. Now I think we may have to abandon that term trilogy because it's not 3 brands anymore or even 4. Now under House of Discs, you have the brands Latitude 64, Westside, Kastaplast. We also have Hand Eye Supply Company in there. Even the software company that makes Disc Golf Valley is a part of that. That brings us to the exciting news that has just broken this week, which is that Mountain Village has acquired 100% of Dynamic Discs. David Berglund, the CEO of House of Discs, told UltiWorld that they had long envisioned a merger with Dynamic Discs. They said there's lots of knowledge merging together there that will amplify the strengths of both companies. Let's pause for a second and talk about why companies merge. And this doesn't necessarily apply strictly to House of Discs acquiring Dynamic Discs, but just in general, we see companies all over the world merging all the time. Why do they do that? So here's some of the reasons. There are strategic benefits when companies merge. For example, you increase your market share. You can diversify your geographic footprint. You can produce a wider range of products or services. Another advantage is that merging typically saves on costs, on overhead. That's most frequently done through the elimination of redundancies. There may be functions that both companies have that don't need to be duplicated, and so when the companies merge, you can streamline that for efficiency. Another reason is a term that gets thrown around a lot. It's called synergies. When we talk about synergies, we're talking about the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. You can increase efficiency and productivity, which leads to higher profits through these synergies. Merging 2 companies together often gives you a competitive advantage in the marketplace due to your size. A larger and more powerful company can compete better in the marketplace, typically against their competitors. You can attract top talent to come and work for your company if your company is of a certain size and has better access to capital. In the case of House of Discs, I think we could even extend this to being better able to recruit top players to come and be endorsed by your company and play on your team. One other reason is just better access to capital. Larger companies with a larger operating budget can position themselves better to receive future investments or loans or lines of credit in order to run their business. What does House of Discs say about the reason that they have made this investment in acquiring Dynamic Discs? They say that they want to focus on growing the sport worldwide. They mention franchise expansion. We should see across the world new physical locations or brick and mortar businesses popping up under the House of Discs brand or under one of the brands that they control. House of Discs is going to continue to focus on contract disc production for third parties and also focus on research, design, and development to continue to develop innovative new products in disc golf. Reading between the lines a little bit, I think there's also another concern that's come up occasionally in the past that will be addressed through this merger. And that is how they allocate their capacity for manufacturing. During 2020 and a little bit in 2021, we had tremendous issues relative to the supply of discs. The demand far exceeded supply, and some of these brands were upset because they could not get the amount of product that they needed in order to meet demand. When you're a company that has a variety of different brands, your house brands and also the brands that you're doing contract disc manufacturing for, it can create some unpleasant situations. Having all of this within one entity should help to address that if it comes up again in the future. So the bottom line here is the investment into House of Discs and then the acquisition of Dynamic Discs is really to create value for their shareholders, create value for their customers, for their employees, and to ensure overall long-term success. What does the future hold for House of Discs? Well, they have already announced that they intend to have additional strategic acquisitions in the near future. In fact, they have said those discussions are already underway. I expect soon we'll see more similar announcements to this. This very much aligns with what we have been saying on some of our prior videos about the disc golf industry being in a phase of consolidation. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Bringing in outside investment for the purpose of merging and acquiring these other businesses to achieve those benefits that I talked about earlier in the video. We've seen some concern online from people who are saying, we don't need private equity money in the business. It's going to ruin the culture of disc golf. It's going to result in inferior products and things like that. I don't see any validity to those concerns at this point. We're obviously going to keep an eye on things, and that opinion could possibly change. But, we need outside money in disc golf, just the same way that we need outside advertisers to be showing up more to sponsor our tournaments and our tournament coverage. Look at the level of outside investment and outside advertisement in other mainstream professional sports. It's hard to imagine how those other sports would have become as popular and successful as they are now without that. This is a step in the right direction for disc golf. But perhaps most importantly, I would want you to understand that these private equity companies do a ton of research and analysis before they choose to make an investment. That's a really positive sign about the future viability of disc golf. These entities would not be investing their money into our sport if they did not believe it was likely that they would achieve a significant return on their investment. I think that says a lot of positive things about the future of our sport, but I would love to hear what you think. So like, subscribe, follow, comment down below.